And one of the goals of this series is to actually broaden our concepts, to broaden some of these themes that we see that are specific to financial transactions or specific to social interactions, but then talk about how the Prophet ﷺ is really addressing a behavior and a concept in a much bigger way. And so many of you might have heard, or you should have heard if you've read the Qur'an, the term al-mutaffifun. There's a surah in the Qur'an called al-mutaffifun. Waylun lil-mutaffifin. Al-mutaffifin or al-mutaffifun. And this is a term that has many, many different applications and meanings to it. But I'll start off with the hadith, and that'll actually be the hadith, the narration that we'll go off of today, that mentions the reason for the revelation of this verse. Ibn Abbas narrates that when the Prophet ﷺ came to the city of Medina, when he arrived in the city of Medina, he said that the people used to cheat with their weights and their measures. And in fact, he says, uses strong language. He says, لَمَا قَدِمَ النَّبِيُّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ الْمَدِينَ كَانُوا مِنْ أَخْبَثِ النَّاسِ كَيْلًا. That they were the worst of people in cheating with scales. Meaning there was a reputation in the markets of Medina. In the marketplaces of Medina, particularly you have Suq Banu Qurayza, which was the most famous marketplace, where people used to cheat with their weights. They used to cheat with the scales. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ. Woe to those who cheat with measures and weights. Woe to those who cheat with measures and weights. And Ibn Abbas says, فَأَحْسَنُوا الْكَيْلَ بَعْدَ ذَلك. They became the best of people in the way that they dealt with one another, with their weights and their measures after that. Meaning people started to take very close account of how they would do business, of whether they were cheating the person in front of them or not. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ. And He highlights, الَّذِينَ إِذَا اكْتَالُوا مِنَ النَّاسِ. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what's the word that's used? Okay, يَسْتَوْفُونَ وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُوهُمْ يُخْسِرُونَ. All right, so what does this mean in Arabic? Because there are actually two different forms of tatfif, two different forms of this concept. And the definition that I'm going to give for tatfif, mutaffifun are people who do tatfif. Tatfif is to shortchange. Tatfif is to shortchange. Mutaffifun are people that shortchange. I don't know if shortchangers is a word or not. All right, but people who shortchange. So Allah gives it two different meanings. Those who, when they take their measure, when they take their weight, when they take their product, they take it in full. But whenever they're in the place of distribution, they cause loss to the other party. They're two separate things. When they take their right, they take it in full. When they give the right that's due upon them, they minimize it. Someone asked in the Q&A, I think last week or the week before, what's the problem with insurance? The contract of insurance in Islam. Why did the Prophet ﷺ not like the concept of insurance? The concept of people pooling their money together and, people that are, this is another topic for another day, but let's say, for example, one of the practical applications, a bunch of fishermen put some money into a pool, and basically that money will be used to protect their boat. So if one of their boats is damaged, then they'll take from that pool to take care of their boat. That's fine. It's actually an Islamic concept. There's nothing wrong with that. But the concept of insurance, where there's risk and there's gambling, and the idea of the insurance company is to give you as little as possible while making sure that they collect their full payment from you, right?